Hey, it's Jeremy from OpticHouse.com, and this might be the cover for Morningstar issue 5. I say might because I may redraw the whole thing. As I'm sitting here looking at this video, I went to extra efforts to try and make this drawing move from being generic to more specific. When I was drawing, this cover features Gabrielle, and I tried to make her rifle into a more specific rifle as opposed to just something generic. So I was looking up a Winchester rifle, and I was going in with blue pencil. Even though I'd already added details in the rough layouts, I had little details to try and make it look like the specific rifle that I wanted this character to have. Going in and drawing her boots, I've got a couple of those DK reference books. I was looking at, pictures of horses, looking at pictures of different styles of boots, trying to make it feel more specific. Even the saddle, I went through and looked at a couple of different saddles, and I don't think that this saddle design necessarily screams authentic and it feels like, oh yeah, that's a saddle I could just hop on top, see on any horse and ride. It still feels a little bit too generic to me. But overall, the challenge I'm having with this cover is that I don't think it's a bad cover. You'll see as the drawing develops and I flesh out the details. Overall, I think it's a decent drawing. But being that this is a cover, I want it to not just be decent. I want it to scream kick ass. I want it to look like a fantastic cover. I want it to be jaw dropping and eye stopping when people see it. And I feel like I can push it further. That's the challenge I have. It's the bar that I've set for myself is that if I look at a drawing and it's one thing if I have exhausted all of my drawing capacity, all of my artistic abilities. If I've made it the best drawing it can be and it's still not fantastic, so be it. If I make it the best drawing I can be and it sucks, then it's just a sucky drawing it wasn't meant to be. This one is passable. It's serviceable. My wife was looking at it on the wall because I have all my comic pages hanging up on the wall as I finish them, and she said she really liked it. She didn't want me to change the cover. I explained to her that it wasn't so much that I wanted to change the concept as it is I just wanted to redraw it and execute it better. So the concept will still be the same. I've got Gabrielle kind of riding on the plains with a bunch of severed demon heads tied to the side of her horse, and one of those mixed in with the demon heads is Lucifer's severed head. I will leave the meanings behind that to those who read the actual issue. But a lot of the things I've struggled with in this entire series, like for instance, horse drawing. I've never been great at drawing animals. I've never been great at drawing horses. And I've tried not to shy away from that. I've tried to lean into the fact that I'm challenging myself to do things I'm not good at, to become better. The horse in this page is better than a lot of the horses I've drawn. The anatomy is still a little funky. I want to go back and I want to fix that. I guess here's the real thing I'm struggling with is that this is one of those cases where in order to try and improve this cover, I'm going to have to sit down, do a bunch of thumbnails, do the whole thing over from scratch. Going to have to try several more thumbnails and try to execute all the different variations that I could see this being better. Like when originally, I have the sheet next to me right now with the thumbnails I did for this. And there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 drawings on one page that are just different types of doodles of executions of this. And I'm probably going to have to do at least that many, if not twice as many, before I figure out whether I can make this a better drawing. And what's really going to be weird is if I go through all that, do all the thumbnails, maybe even draw it all the way to execution, and then look at the next drawing and be like, nah, it's not better. This was the best I could do. And I'm not saying this to trash my own work. I'm not saying this to make it sound like I'm having a pity party, like, oh me, my drawings don't come out as well as I want them to. No artist does. This is about the work that you do when you're trying to step up. When you do a piece and you want it to be better, it's easy enough. A lot of times when I do a drawing and it's bad, I can sit there and I can analyze very specifically, I need to do A, B, and C to fix it. And then I sit down and I do the work to fix it. In this one, the things I need to do to fix it aren't just anatomical things. They aren't just specificity things. There's slight changes in the angle. I need to do sketches to work out the lighting because even though I did thumbnails for different types of lighting, I realize now that those thumbnails weren't thorough enough. And I've learned that the hard way in terms of pages that I've been inking. Even though the covers, I don't ink them. I go into Photoshop directly over the pencil, so the covers look a little bit different from the internal pages. I've learned that I really need to think out my lighting much more thoroughly. And what really kills me are the clouds that I'm drawing in here right now, because these clouds are god awful, and I end up erasing them, and then again trying clouds that are more linear, just so I can fill them in Photoshop. And I realized that for something like this should be left to the color. I should just leave the clouds plain white. I mean, there are situations when I should render in pencil the clouds and the sky, and I should have all of the detail I want in there worked out. This isn't one of those cases. It's one of those cases where the sky, if anything, for the concept I have in my mind, the sky's going to be mostly dark anyway, with clouds smattered through. I figured it's just doing it in pencil, it's not working. Then breaking out some reference to try and draw the landscape. Even the landscape, it doesn't feel like, as I mentioned in previous videos, it doesn't feel to me yet like an environment that you could just walk into and that the characters can walk around in. So there's all of these things that I'm like, it can be better, it can be faster. It's not horrible, it doesn't suck, but I can push further. It's a tough place to be in, to be at the limits of your abilities, but that's where I am right now, and I'm still pushing. That's it for now. Check out my website, optichouse.com. If you enjoy these videos, please share them. Also, sign up for my weekly newsletter to get a free digital download and see what else I'm working on. Go be creative.